Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kupa Live. This is your Kupa educator, Patricia, and I am going to be doing a little Celtic St. Patrick's Day green nail for you guys. We are coming up on yet another festive holiday that we can do some nail art. So I just wanted to get some of your guys' creative juices flowing and be festive for the holiday soon to come. So we are going to do a removal and then just do the design. I'm not going to apply the nails today. For those who do like those instructional videos, we will do something in the near future again with like application and all that stuff. But today we are going to be working with the color palettes and I will just be doing some mixing. I'm going to show you guys how to layer the chrome over top of it if you're not familiar. And yeah, here we go. All right, so I'm going to start off with my Mani Passport Pro, and I'm going to be using a coarse Typhoon radius bit. That's just what I have on hand, so you can see here, this is the one that kind of curves over. So I usually don't use this one. I use the regular Typhoon bit, but I don't have it here on me, but that's okay because I can still do it with this and then I can get into the corners with this one, so that's still good for that. So I'm going to set my e-file a little high so I have it on, you see the notches over here. So the higher it is, that's better for removal versus like the lower it is, you'll be using it on like the natural nail or something. So I'm going to just be working on maybe these two nails. That way you guys can get a good look. So I'm just going to remove. I like to use the belly of this bit and just go down the center of the nail, and then I'll come around and clean up the sides. Just remove that color. Okay. And then with this tapered edge, that's a little more pointed versus the regular Typhoon bit, we can get around the cuticle area since it's so narrow, which I like. Okay. And that's good for if you want to remove and get all close. Okay, so that is one nail, and yeah, one more to go. Starting on the side. You can do it this way too, and just kind of go down each side. Let's see. When when do you know to extend the bit from the drill? Okay, so I'll turn this off and I'll just show you guys. All of the time when I use a bit, I do kind of keep the shank out. When you have it down all the way where it's like touching the mechanics of the e-file, the handpiece, and it's all the way down in the collet, it's going to cause a lot of friction and it's going to get hot. So you don't want so much friction in the mechanics. So if you can pull the shank up just a little bit, so that way it's not touching, that will help prolong the life of your handpiece and keep it from vibrating and all of that stuff. So this is just like sort of day-to-day sort of care that you can do to help keep you from having to maintenance your tools. So let's see. Oh yeah, so not really depending on the size of the nail. Like I'm assuming you're referring to the bit. Yeah, if you do have a longer nail, and if the nail bed is bigger, you can just use the regular Typhoon bit. And then if you do have a smaller nail bed, you can use the Typhoon radius because it is more narrow at the tip. But I feel like either way, if you want to get close, you can still use this bit to get into the like little nooks and crannies of the cuticle area. Okay, so there's that. I just removed the polish so far, so that was all I did. Oh, no problem. Thank you for asking questions. If you have any more, keep them coming. I love to get questions. All right, I'm going to use my file. Now I'm going to have my shaper buffer. So the shaper buffer is nice because it has the buffer on the other side, and it has like 100 and then the 180 grit buffer. So I'm just going to kind of shape the nail, and then I'm going to buff it. Just to crispen up the shape a little bit. And then buff the top so that the polish can adhere really well. We don't want it to be too smooth. The smoother that the base is, the easier the polish is to chip. So just keep that in mind. You don't want the base to be too smooth. Okay. Just like that. And then just buffing so we can get all those little etching from the bit. We can smooth those down so the polish can be nice and smooth too. Okay, so now there's that. I'm going to just take a little manicure brush and I meant to cut this down so that I wouldn't have to do so much cleanup with the dust. I think we went over it. We can't use the machine, that the vacuum for the dust, because it will cause a lot of sound for the camera. So that's why we're not using any sort of machine, for those who wonder about that. Okay, I'm just gonna use a manicure brush to clean. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is I had my LA Confidential palette. I thought I had it right there. I'm going to mix. Oh, thank you. Okay, Marco had. Oh, none of these have a brush in it anyway. Okay, no, that I found it. No, just kidding. Is this it? No, I found it. I found it. Okay, new one is good too. Thank you. Okay, Marco's so nice. He got me a new brush. So in all of the color palettes, we do give you guys a brush that has the paddle side on one end and a liner side on the other end, so you can do nail art and you can do full cover polish. So just so you guys, have that. Let me wipe because I'm going to use this top part.
The question about the mat, is that the natural or that's long?
Oh no, these are the soft gel tips. So we do have these soft gel tips, and this is what she has on right now. So they're already applied, so that's why I just removed the polish. And then, but if you guys want to do a tutorial on the soft gel tips, we can do that in the next coming weeks. Because I know you guys like the application videos and all the technical videos too. So we're going to try to make sure we're, doing a little bit of both, so you guys can have some with the fun nail art and then some with all of the instructional videos too. Okay. That just flew right off. Okay, so I'm going to kind of mix, I think, the Urban Jungle and Limo Service, because I kind of want like an emerald green kind of look. So I think I'm going to just kind of dibble and dabble, mix those together so I can get a darker green. And I want to mix enough that I can do both nails. So I just want to get a little black and the green in there. Okay, perfect. So a nice like dark green. You can see how deep it turned. And I'm going to use that as the base for the nail. It kind of looks like a forest green now. See how easy it is to mix the colors though on the color palette? Let me get some of that black on there. But yeah, you can easily mix these colors too. So if you only have one palette so far, and you want to try to get different colors, the LA Confidential palette is really good because it's pretty much all the primaries, and you can mix from there whatever color you want. So it's a good place to start. It's pretty much like a painter palette, so you guys can do a whole lot with it. This is like my new favorite product from us, especially if you're a nail art girly. Okay, so a little dark green. Just like that. And I'm just brushing a little smooth layer. Try to, I think I may brighten up with a little of the blue. I'll see how that looks on the second coat, just to keep it from turning too Kelly, because it kind of gives a little Kelly green. And I want a little more emerald. Okay, I'm gonna zap that for 60 seconds. I'm gonna zap that for 60 seconds. So wait, hold on. Hold on. We're gonna.
Yeah, there's another one.
I think there's another one here. Don't worry. Just kidding. I swear we test this stuff before we put it on here.
It's the battery on that.
Yeah. Because sometimes.
You don't have a charger.
Yeah, I think there is.
Okay, let me get it.
I think there's a charger. Let me see if this charger is good. No. But you know what we can do? We can just do this.
This one has no more
We- Oh, okay. Yeah, we can just do this. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So for those who battery is out on your lamp and you forgot to charge it the night before, you can use your Duet lamp as a curing lamp because it does have that neat 15-second cure feature. So you can just have your client go back in, and it is motion censored. So you see Val just do and it turns right back on. So she's gonna cure that. I'm gonna mix this color. I'm gonna put a little bit more blue in it. So Pacific Paradise, I'm gonna add just a smidgen of that because I don't want it to go teal, but I do want to brighten the green up a little bit. Oh, see how it brightens it up like almost instantly? Yeah, so it can go a little more, yeah, a little more emerald. That's what I want. So you only need like a smidge. There we go. With that touch of black underneath, I feel like this is the color that I'm looking for. Okay. So even though I kind of did a Kelly green, I kind of mixed it so that it could be a little more emerald looking. So I'll show you guys that. And then I'm just going to layer it on top. Oh yeah, see? Nice. If you are not that familiar with color theory, you can literally Google just like different color wheels and ways to mix paints. And it will give you like, okay, add a dash of, yellow to make it look like this. So I kind of just go off of my own knowledge of the color wheel. But if you're not too familiar with that, definitely go online, and all you have to do is just like Google different ways to mix paint, and you'll kind of get an idea for what brightens something up, or what will tone it down, like mute it. That's like my favorite part about nail art and painting is just kind of, mixing your own thing, doing your own thing, and trying to get the best outcome. It's a lot of, you know, a lot of knowledge out there for free that you guys can acquire. And then we're always here on Tuesdays to help out and give you guys some additional knowledge. Oh, perfect. We got a St. Patty's Day machine. And she is fully charged. Well, actually, she has the. Is she charged or does she just have a battery pack? I'll leave the battery on.
Yeah, just extended.
Okay. All right. Since we're doing green nails, we should have a green lamp. Okay, perfect. Yay. Okay, there we go. Now we're cooking. All right. So I'm just applying that brighter green that I made. I just added a little blue to the green and the black, the Urban Jungle and Limo Service. I added a little bit of the Pacific Paradise. Oops, I'm out of frame. Okay, so I used Urban Jungle as the base. I added just a teeny bit of the Limo Service and a teeny bit of the Pacific Paradise. And that gave me this sort of emerald green sort of look. So I'm going to have her zap that for 60 seconds. And I'm going to clean off this brush. And then I'm going to show you guys this little cool little Celtic pattern that you guys can do for your clients for the season. And the Celtic patterns seem kind of intricate because they feel like interwoven, but they're actually not that hard. They're not that hard to do. You can kind of just, because they connect, all of the pieces kind of connect, it's not too hard to just like, okay, I can follow the line, like a figure 8 and then, make it pointed. I'll show you that in a second. That way you guys can see, but there's a lot of different Celtic patterns that you can do. This one was just like a really easy one that looked very intricate that I thought you guys might enjoy. But first, what I'm going to do is get my mat. So that way, because I'm going to be using chrome today. So anytime that I'm going to use chrome, I'm going to put matte as my over top of my base. That way that the chrome won't stick to the actual polish itself. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm doing a Celtic design. Okay, I know some of the designs are kind of sus because the pattern of them, but that's just what they are, okay? There's only so many shapes in this world. Okay. So a nice smooth coat of the matte. And this is, again, to prevent the chrome powder from getting into the polish. Because I don't want that. I want it to easily be able to be brushed away. And then we're going to put that in 60 seconds. And then I will use Limo Service. And let me get my chrome out. And I will show you guys the various designs. So this is just a gold chrome that I have. Okay. All right. And I'm going to show you guys how I do with the enrich too. So I'm going to get a clear enrich wherever that is, a clear enrich. Clear enrich. Yeah, the builder. Yeah, the builder. I'm going to show you guys a little 3D design that you can do. I'm just going to do a little 4-leaf clover to tie in with the season as well. So just some fun little things that you can do, A 4-leaf is lucky. A 3-leaf, well, a 3-leaf is just the standard. Oh, thank you. A 3-leaf is just a standard, but a 4-leaf is lucky. So if you find a 4-leaf clover, and we're starting to get in the yard, we're starting to get a bunch of clovers popping up too. I always kind of try to look real quick because I found a 4 leaf one before, but it wasn't really like perfect. So I didn't keep it, but I was like, no one's gonna believe me. They're gonna think I like did something weird, but I have found one before. So anytime you see a little patch, just look it up. Look through it and see if you can find a nice little 4 leaf one. Okay, so for the first design, I am going to do a little Celtic symbol. So I'm going to take my limo service on the liner brush, and I want to just create little points first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot where I want it to start, a dot where I want it to end, and then kind of like a dot in the middle just so I can see where I want them to cross. So the top piece is going to be like a point, and then it's going to go down into a figure 8. Okay. Just like that. Okay. So I have what looks like a figure 8, but instead of rounded top and bottom, it's a point. I'm just going to kind of clean up that and give it a more pointed look at the top. Just like that. Perfect. When I do lines, I try not to breathe, so I'm sorry I'm not like talking you through it. I'm holding my breath. And then for the next part of the design, it's like a little little flower thing. So kind of like the charmed symbol on the inside. So it's gonna go like from here. I'm gonna make a little dot to here. And then I'm gonna do a little arc like that. And then just tie that in over here. And tie this in over here. Just like that. So it kind of looks interwoven. Okay, so another dot kind of where I want it to end. And then go the opposite way. So arc it going this way. And then I'm gonna kind of cross over here so that it can look like it's going up into the points that we already made. So it's just gonna give it that woven look. Just like that, right? Okay, so I'm gonna have her put that in for 60 seconds and then we will chrome that out. I'm just gonna take my little chrome powder. I'm gonna eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna close this up so the powder doesn't get everywhere. I always hate that. Open this up so when it falls onto the paper towel. And I'm just getting a little powder on the eyeshadow. And once the color dries, the polishes from the color palette, you can put chrome over top of them. I've shown you guys a couple of designs like that before over the holidays. And if you haven't seen those videos, I'm going to show you again today how easy it is to use the color palettes with chrome and different stuff like that. You don't have to use the uh, no white polish on top or anything. So you just go over it just like that. And you can take the back, the clean side, and take a nice little fluffy brush if you want, and just dust off the excess. See? And it is shiny, so you can see it doesn't, I don't know if they can get close, it doesn't come off like powdery, if that makes sense. Like, you know how sometimes when you use the you use a different polish and you try to use the chrome on top and it kind of still gives a shimmer. When you wipe this in, it's still going to look mirrored. It looks very mirrored. So don't, you know, don't worry about that. It's going to look chrome. See? It does not have a powdery effect. It's very metallic compared to when you try to do it with other things. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. You guys got to look for them 4-leaf clovers because they are out there. You will find one. You will find one. Okay. See, so nice like that. I am going to do the design for this one. I'm going to do the design for this one, and then I'm going to add the enriched gel on top just to add more dimension. So I'll show you guys that in a second too. But first, I will do my clover outline on this. My clover outline on this nail. So for the clover, it's pretty much just 4 hearts. 4 hearts. So I'm going to start in the middle here. And I'll draw a line, like a cross, like that. And then another cross like this. Just making 4 quadrants, right? Now, after I do the cross, I'm just going to put like a little dot for the middle of these little quadrants where I would want the little hearts to kind of end. And then I just do arches toward those areas. Let me just brush off the excess. The nice and smooth your brush is, the easier the application. So I just want to get off some of that extra polish. See, so 1 heart here, and gives it a clover look like that. You see, we're just drawing little hearts in each little quadrant, like that. Like that. Very easy to do once you kind of get the hang of it. But, you know, making the dots helps. When you're with your client, you can take, you know, as much time as they'll allow. So you can, you know, make it as clean if you have more time. As clean as you can get it, the better. And just like that. So nothing crazy, just 4 hearts, you know, across, and to get the center of the clover, and then just some little heart shapes here. And I kind of want them to have the deep peak. So when I do my 3D, I'll show you guys like how, and then I'm going to do a little stem here. I'm going to show you guys what I'm thinking for the 3D. So just that, something easy. And then I'm going to have her put that in for 60 seconds. Yeah, just something kind of, you know, beginner status, but elevated, like not, you know, not too much time, but just something the clients might like to add. The Celtic designs are cool for not so on the nose St. Patrick's, but you know, something within the theme. And then the clover obviously is more on the nose. But I have been liking the little different Celtic patterns because I think that's cool. You can always incorporate it as just the French, which I think is really cute. Like do that upside down kind of shape like that Charmed on the book of magic, whatever that they have. They do that little swirly design and it's like 3 little point things. I would do that like as the French on each one. You can do it like a green French and then the gold on that, and that would be really cute too. So just something to play around with. Okay, now we're going to push this chrome in. Okay. Use the clean side of the sponge and it just like comes off because the background is matte. So that helps make it easier. And it helps varnish the chrome in too, so it can give more of a metallic-y look. There we go. Just like that. Look how shiny that is. That's really nice. Okay, so now that we've got that, I'm going to use a little bit of the Enrich to create a 3D design. I'm just gonna use the top of my box here just to act like a palette. And I'm gonna go over all of the line work that I just did to give more of a 3D finish, like it's embossed. So it's dry out here in California. My gosh, it's been hot. We had like rain for like a second yesterday. Well, in San Diego we did. I don't know if they had it up here. No, you're fine. But it's been dry. Like it rained for like a second, but it was like a hot day after that. And I was like, what is going on with this weather?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like in the 90s tomorrow.
Yeah, this weekend is supposed to be nice. So if you're in Southern California, thank God. Everybody on the East Coast, are you guys still experiencing like a blizzard or what's going on over there? Is it cold? Is it warming up? Is it springtime yet? Let me know. Okay. I'm just embossing this line work. So basically just going over with the enriched gel so that it can have some texture. I'm going to leave the background matte just because I think that that's a cool effect. The metallic with the matte finish. So just going over the lines with my builder gel, my Enrich RX. And this is just in the color clear, ultra clear. You can do, if you don't want to do matte as the background, you can totally go over the whole thing with the top coat. You don't have to do this step if you want the whole thing, you know, shiny. For this, I'm going to go over it just the same way. Man, it's like hot in here. Normally it's hot now. All right, just going over the line work. Just like so. I'm trying to be as precise as possible. Oh, sorry, the light went out. Okay, so just going over that. Let's move this one over. Or is that one too bright? There we go. Okay, good enough. Well, it did look good. I think I made it too bright. Oh, okay. All right, so now that I did that, I'm gonna have her put that in for 60 seconds. And then what I'm gonna do is question. Like a widow's, yes, the clover is like doing like a widow's peak. Um, yeah, I guess you can do a gold polish, right? But if you go the extra step with the chrome, it just looks more like metal and it gives that like like a shield or like a crest look. So that's why I wanted to do the chrome over just doing like gold polish because I felt like it would be more contrast with a matte green background. So that's why I did it like that. Okay, let me see what I'm gonna do because I need to get my. Okay, I'm just gonna use this. I can't. I'm looking for my lint-free wipe, but it's okay. I'm just gonna use this. I have a little scissor in here, I believe. Do I have a little scissor in here? I thought I did. Well, it's okay. Things are always a changing, but that's okay. We make do. I'm just gonna use the corner of this because I had my lint-free wipes in here, but it's okay. I'm not gonna stress it. I know you guys are on a time crunch. You guys want to watch the video, unless you guys want to watch the video longer, because some people stay longer. I feel like. Okay. All right. There we go. And that kind of takes off any of the other gold, especially from around the skin. But you see how metallic that is compared to just like a gold polish? This looks like metal. So it gives more of a, an elevated look. Okay. So for the clovers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like a big chunk, right? And then I'm going to, I don't know if this will pick up on camera. Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. That's better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a dab, right? I'm gonna put a glob of it in the one corner of the heart, like in the little circle part. And I'm gonna kind of do this a little fast. So drag it down. And then I'm gonna have her cure in the light. In between each one, I'm going to do just a quick flash cure, and this is going to give the illusion of like texture between each of the leaves of the 4-leaf clover. So one part will be like kind of like this, and then the other part will be on the other side of the leaf. So it gives more of a texture, like like it's two-sided. So that one can just be like a 30-second cure or something like that. You see up close, I don't know if when I show you the other side, you'll kind of get an idea. Can we do that other? There we go. Okay. So you see how it's raised just right there? I'm going to do the same thing on this side. A little dot. And make like, a little bead there, and then swipe it down, and then put that inside. Okay, so when she brings that out, I'm going to show you guys. It just looks like two separate petals on that leaf. So that way it'll be like, oh, okay, there's like more going on, a little more texture or whatever. So I'm going to do that with all four, and then we will be done. Just show you guys, all the contrast we can do and all the things you can do with your Kupa products, just using them to the fullest, I think. And then I'm going to try to do a little dot. If I can find a little dot. I'm going to just put it in the center. If not, I'm not going to worry about it, but I wanted to put a little something in the center of, but I don't think I have a little dot. That's gold or whatever. But if you have a little gold bead, you can put it in the very center of the clover, and it will add a little more dimension. But you see here how it looks like two little beads. There we go. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it looks like two little beads in there, and you can still see that part in between them, that line that separates the two sides. Yeah, that's what I want. That adds like that texture for the leaf. Okay, so I'm just going to do that on all the leaves. So I'm going to put a little glob on each side. This will speed up time. So if you guys are working on a client and they got to get in and out, do one side at a time and just pull down. On that side. And then have them cure. And then on the next go round, that's when you'll do the other side and have them cure. So that way you can still see that division in the middle of each petal, okay? And that's a fun way to just add texture, add something else to the eye that the client will want to look at and kind of go back to. You just have to try to find different ways to, elevate the look, but that still may be within your wheelhouse if you're still a beginner nail tech, but something that you can offer the client that will be an upsell, right? So 3D is obviously going to be an upsell, Chrome is an upsell, stuff like that. So just things to think about. Or you can do a combined price or whatever, however you want to do it. But I like to try to educate techs on ways that they can elevate within their skill set, but still help them, get a bigger cost out of the designs that they do. Because all of these little skills that you learn, they're all things that you can charge a little extra for, right? So, and that's the whole point is in continuing education is to get a better paycheck. Who doesn't want a better paycheck? Okay. And you don't want to go over the other little bead. You want to make sure they're separate. Because once it goes into the other side, you're going to lose the texture. So, like this one already bled into it. So, I'm going to have to divide that part. There. Go ahead. Since this is self-leveling, that's why I said you kind of have to work a little quickly because they'll level out. Even if you want to do like those designs where it's like the seashell and you do like a shimmer nail on the bottom or a cat eye on the bottom, and then you want to use your enrich to do those seashell shapes. You can flash cure with your duet lamp in between. Boom, 15 seconds. Do the next swipe. Boom, another 15 seconds. Waiting for this to kind of set that polish just so that you can make sure you get the height on it that you want and it doesn't level out. And that goes with pretty much any of the embossing gels or 3D gels. They will eventually kind of level if you don't move a little quickly. So I like to cure in between each little stroke that I do. And then I'm going to let her go the whole time since we're pretty much done on that. All right. And there you have it. A little fun, festive, Celtic, what we can get in frame or focused.
I don't like the white towel behind it.
Oh, let me do that. Boo, boo, boo. There we go. I'm going to add my Harmony cuticle oil. And when you put the cuticle oil on your client, I like to wipe up. I don't let them rub it in, right? Because as soon as they rub it onto their nail, it's going to kind of smudge the finish. And since this is matte, I don't want the oil to get on it. But even when it's shiny, the oil sometimes like reflects the light kind of weird. So when you go to take your picture, it doesn't look as smooth. So that's another little pro tip. Wipe the oil up for the client so that way the picture can be like as nice and crisp as possible. Okay. And just like that, you have a little Celtic St. Patrick's Day design. Nice. And you can add different little filigree around the edges. You can add more embossing if you want, like little swirls, or you can add a French, whatever you want to do to give it some more dimension or add some more fun. But this was just, a nice little, I felt like a nice little demure, cutesy kind of look. Yeah, very nice. All right. If you guys decide to do the design or have your own variation of the design, please tag us so we can see. We love to see your guys' artwork. We love to get, tagged in all of your guys' photos if you guys are using the product. The top coat especially, we love seeing that you guys are loving the top coat. We hope that all of the issues with that are done and everybody's getting a good regular batch of the top coat. And yeah, just let us know. Tag me, tag the Kupa page, whatever, and we'll keep a lookout for your designs. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate the views. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share. We are here on Tuesdays live at 5. All right. Bye, guys.